This is Transforce96 here. With another video, I'm going to be talking about the newest assortment of Marvel Legends. This time it is the Captain America series. So these pictures did surface like a week ago or so. Sorry it took me a while to get this video out. I was on vacation when they came out. So let's get talking about it now. Overall, we basically knew the assortment. However, there was one character that people were reporting on as being part of this assortment and one character that wasn't. But it turned out that that character that wasn't happened to be in this assortment, and the character that was is not in this set, which is really disappointing, but I'll get to that later. So starting off just at the bottom right there, we have the Secret Wars Captain America. I am kind of sick of getting Captain America figures, same as Spider-Man, just because there are so many Captain America and Spider-Man waves, and in those waves you need a Captain America or Spider-Man. And then this time we have the Secret Wars one. Out of all of the Captain Americas that we've received over the past couple of years, this one does look really good though, I have to say, compared to the rest. I think the suit is unique. I like the red line work on it. I think it was very cool. It is just a repaint as far as I'm aware of a previous mold, so no new sculpting or anything, but I do really like the new accessory that he comes with the throwing shield. I think it's a nice accessory and it's a good way to change up Captain America while still giving you a Captain America figure. So overall, character-wise, I'm not excited for it. However, figure-wise, I think that they did it quite well, so that's quite nice. Then we have Captain Britain. This is one that I'm not too interested in. I think that it might have some new sculpted parts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the lower arms kind of have like a bandaged effect, which is actually sculpted, so that might be new. And then the boots look like they have sculpted buckles. I don't think that that's just paint. So that does look new as well, and of course you're going to get a new head sculpt, but character-wise I'm not too interested, or figure-wise. The only thing slightly interesting with him is that rumored in the next assortment of Spider-Man figures will be like a Spider-Man Britain character, so those two might look cool together. However, just on its own, I'm not too excited for Captain Britain. Then we go to the one that I'm probably most excited for, I'm definitely most excited for, is Scarlet Witch, her movie appearance in Civil War, which is very nice. I think the figure looks really good. We'll get a closer shot of that head sculpt later on here. The magic effects I don't think look that great. However, it's nice that we do get them, and I really like the way that her hands are sculpted, and that sculpt is awesome, and it's just one that I doubt they'll be able to use again, because it's so unique to her appearance in Civil War, but you never know. Sometimes they do surprise you and re-sculpt a body for somebody completely different, such as what they did with Electro, and turned him into Scourge. And then we have Eel. Eel is a character I don't know much about. He's kind of a smaller villain, I believe. However, I'm a big villain fan, so I do kind of like the abstract villains, just because I like villains, and to see and kind of learn new ones is quite cool. So I'm kind of interested in that Eel figure. I think that the figure itself doesn't look interesting. The character is kind of neat. However, I do like the paint on it. It's got a blue. It's a pretty just plain blue, light blue color, and then you're going to have more of a metallic style of purple on top of it, which looks really cool with some yellow lightning bolted hands. Figure seems to be a Bucky Cap mold. The head sculpts might even just be Blizzard, so I'm not even quite sure if that head sculpt's unique. And then the hands, of course, are just from the movie and comic Electro. So nothing too special there, I have to say, figure-wise. But I do like the kind of side villains, so it's kind of nice to get him. Then we go to Wonder Man. Now this was the figure that a lot of sites were not reporting in this wave. A lot of sites were reporting it as Crossbones instead of Wonder Man. That would have been fantastic, because I'm a big Crossbones fan. To get a nice, cool-looking comic book Crossbones would have been awesome, and it would have been, assuming that it looked good, it would have been my most anticipated figure of the wave, and instead it was replaced with the figure that I'm least excited for out of this wave, which is so disappointing, I have to say. Like, it was like, when I saw this assortment, I was like, this looks good, but, I thought that this Captain America wave was supposed to be better than this, and then it hit me that it was Crossbones that should have been in it instead of Wonder Man, and that was really quite devastating, I must say. I would have loved a Crossbones figure, and I could absolutely care less about Wonder Man. So I'm super disappointed, but to end kind of harping on it, the figure itself here with Wonder Man, I believe it's just a resculpt or a repaint with a new head. Those accessory pieces, those are not the ones that come with Scarlet Witch and Vision, I don't think that they are. They do look, yeah, they're definitely not. So, so those are unique. From what I've seen, they've possibly been used before, but not from a figure that I own. So let me know if those are unique or if they are taken from somebody else. They're done in a nice purple though, and he will come with a set of fists in just his regular hands, and then two purple ones to kind of go with those power effects. But overall, super disappointing because I could care less about that figure. Would have loved Crossbones. And then we ended on Iron Skull. I'm a big Red Skull fan. One thing that's unique about Red Skull for me is that I really just like him in any iteration that I've seen. He looks fantastic any way you slice it, with any artist drawing him, and his unique features based on those artists. I really just love him. I think that he looks awesome in like a Gestapo World War II outfit, and he looks cool in some of the modern designs with the cloak, and even the Iron Skull is really neat. I've always loved Red Skull, and I love the way he looks no matter what. So I am excited to get a Red Skull in this wave. Iron Skull sounds like a cool idea. I think that when we knew that Iron Skull was going to be in this wave, I had higher expectations. I was really hoping we get something cooler than this. I think that this is quite disappointing. Let's bring up some of these pictures so that you can get a better look at the Iron Skull. It's just a Red Skull head from the first wave of Captain America, just not even repainted. It doesn't need to be repainted, but it's just a direct swap with the head, and then it is on a Mark 42, Mark 43 body with a repaint, basically. Overall, it looks quite disappointing. If you look at that middle picture there, that just looks like a custom. I mean, does it not? It really just looks like a custom figure, and not a particularly well done one either, which is really disappointing. I'm never a fan of using movie sculpts to do a comic character, because usually the movie sculpts are too high detailed and it just doesn't translate well with a comic character. This I think is the same thing. I really just don't like this, and obviously when you look at it you're just like, well, that's the Mark 42, that's not Red Skull. So I wasn't expecting a new mold, because this is clearly one that's an easy mix mash to put together. But I just would have liked them to use a comic book Iron Man instead of a movie one. I wasn't expecting them to use a movie one, and it is quite disappointing. I like the logo in the chest, and the red outlining is cool, but it is quite minimum. And then the black, like in that package photo, looks kind of cool. It's a nice dark black, but in that in-person photo, it looks like a charcoal gray. It looks, quite cheap. So I'm not quite sure if it's just the lighting or why that is the case. And I'm not a fan of that Iron Man head sculpt. It looks like a cheaply painted Iron Man head, It looks quite odd. I'll definitely be keeping the Red Skull head on. I was really hoping for a new sculpt on Red Skull as far as his head goes. I was really anticipating that, and fingers crossed for it. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, and I would have really liked to see them use the head that came with the Onslaught Build-A-Figure, the Red Skull Onslaught. That would have been fantastic if they just took that and scaled it down. That would have been really cool, because that's an awesome head sculpt, and I don't like it on Onslaught. So I would have loved a figure that could be rocking that head sculpt, but it didn't have to be Onslaught. So it is disappointing that we didn't get a new sculpt or a scaled down Onslaught one. However, the sculpt that they did repackage is a really good one. So if you don't have that old Red Skull, you're gonna like that head sculpt a lot. I have the old one on my desk right here, and I'm looking at him. It looks so sweet. It really does. So I do like that head sculpt, but I would have liked a new one because I already have it. And then quickly, just Scarlet Witch, a better, closer image of her and her face. I think that the sculpt is really nice. It really does look like Scarlet Witch from the movie. And I think that the head sculpt is pretty decent. For the scale, it looks good. It's obviously not perfect, but for the scale, I think it's a pretty fine head sculpt. I don't have a problem with it. And then we go to the Build-A-Figure being Abomination. This was the rumor Build-A-Figure. Now it is confirmed, of course. Looking very cool. I'm a big Abomination fan. I really like him a lot. So to get a new representation of him in Legend scale is awesome. So very happy for that. I don't really connect Abomination with Captain America. However, with they're basically just being Captain America and Spider-Man waves, you kind of have to fit these characters in where you can. But Abomination looks really nice. Sculpting-wise, looks fantastic. Looks like there's some excellent detail in there. All the line work on him looks to be sculpted. Looks like he has sculpted scales and bumps and just like pieces of his skin. It looks really wonderful. It looks like just all of that detail is sculpted and not painted, which is awesome. I'm a big fan of that. I think it looks great. I love the feet. I think that the feet look great, although they do look a smidge small. However, they look awesome. So maybe that's just the picture. Maybe in hand it won't look bad, but it is something minor that I did notice. And the level of detail as far as the paint goes on his skin is really nice. I really like how it starts off with like black and then kind of fades into a really dark green and then fades into a lighter green on the arms. I think that looks wonderful. My only issue with it is that the torso and the head have like this really light color. Like, it would have been fine if they wanted to do like differentiate the shades of green and do like a lighter one on the chest and a bit on the face, but it looks so different to his arms and legs that it really looks bad. Now, I've seen pictures of this Build-A-Figure. I've seen more images of this Build-A-Figure that don't seem to have that problem this severe, so this really might just be the image. It might just be because the guy has a flash on and it kind of makes the lighter parts look even lighter than they actually are. However, I'll be very disappointed if this figure does come in looking really bad like that, because the arms and legs are very dark green and then the chest and head are just really light, almost yellowish. So fingers crossed that's just this image, because that is the only thing that I don't like about this Build-A-Figure. But other than that, the Build-A-Figure looks awesome. Great character and great sculpt and just looks fantastic. I like the emotion in the face as well, and the hands look pretty aggressive, so very cool. I am immensely excited for that Abomination Build-A-Figure. As far as the wave goes in general, this was going to be a wave I was really looking forward to, but since they took out the character that I was most excited for and replaced it with one that I could care absolutely less about, this wave does take a big hit in just my book, in my general opinion. For this wave, the ones that I'm excited for are definitely Scarlet Witch, and I'm kind of excited for Iron Skull, and then Eel and the Secret Wars Captain America are kind of on my okay list, and then the Captain Britain and Wonder Man are on my I don't want list, basically. So you have two that I want, two that I'm indifferent about, and then two that I don't want. So you know, not a particularly strong wave for me personally. However, it is still going to be worth getting because the Build-A-Figure looks fantastic and it is a character that I really love. So overall, wave could have been better. Super disappointed for the lack of crossbones. Scarlet Witch looks great and the Build-A-Figure looks great. Iron Skull character-wise is awesome, but figure-wise is quite lazily done, basically. There you go. Those are my opinions on this new Captain America wave. Please let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.